Hey guys, and welcome back to a random introvert online. Hi, I did something really stupid to my hair, and that's why I'm going to be wearing a hat. Also, we are talking about witches, yay! Today's topic is going to be about witchcraft. Wonderful, but before I start with my topic, I just wanted to tell you that if you are looking for a Moroccan wife, I can help you. I'm a matchmaker now. And yes, let's start with this. Witchcraft is something that has been found throughout history from like the really old ages. Babylon, Egypt, Greece, and Jerusalem. But during our current times, Morocco seems to take the #1 ribbon for how good of a witchcraft we are. And it is used for like a lot of reasons, such as finding a husband, being cured from an unknown illness, having children, finding work, being lovable. The list truly goes on. It's like magic maker. Oh wait, it is magic. So what is witchcraft? I found a very beautiful definition, and I think it's really all-encompassing. So yes, whatever by which intellects are bewitched, in whatever to which souls surrender through submission, through speech actions that produce astonishment, submission, attention, hearing, consent, obedience, and acceptance. Basically, it messes with you. Your soul is adhering to things it would not normally adhere to. You start hearing things, seeing things. You become like sort of schizophrenic. Your luck starts to dwindle, and you're scared all the time, and you're paranoid all the time. What are the two types of witchcraft or magic in general? Well, you have white magic and black magic. White magic is known for using things like elements, water, fire, the five, and things like oils and herbs, minerals, liquids, this type of things. As for black magic, it is known for using blood, feces, sperm, hair, skin, sacrifices. It's really uglier than its counterpart. Also, it's known for using things like numerology, the secrets of numbers, and the secrets of letters. A lot of things. When I looked into this, I found that it's a really deep science. It's a really deep discipline that people spend years studying. And the biggest example of this is the Jewish Kabbalah. You have to be 40 to start practicing that, which means before you're 40, your entire life, you need to do a lot of studying for you to finally be allowed to start practicing it at 40. Now, where did witchcraft originate from? Witchcraft is said to originate from good old Babylon, with the king Nimrod, I think. He was the first wizard known to mankind and in history. This is something both the Quran and the Bible agree on, but also the Quran specifies more that it was God who sent 2 angels to teach people how to practice witchcraft as a test, and they told anyone that came to them to learn the witchcraft, hey, we are no good, and anything you're gonna learn from us is going to lead you to hell. So they warned people, but people still decided to learn. So using that science, it is possible to connect to the other world of jinn. And from there on, it spread everywhere. But there are a lot of places that did manage to continue studying it and developing it and creating tons of books for that. Such as Egypt, for example, known as the pharaohic magic. But there's also the Jewish magic, which is, I don't know how to separate between the two. When I did my research, I found that there's a huge difference between the two. However, there was a period of time, according to the Bible and the Quran as well, that the Jews lived in Egypt, so they learned from each other. They like developed, and when they separated, the disciplines went into different streams. I really can't tell you. However, Morocco seems to have all these types of witchcraft, such as the Kabbalah and also the pharaohic. Let's not forget the African voodoo, which is way more bloodier than the two combined. How did witchcraft become so prevalent in Morocco? So the heroic magic arrived through a sect. It's an Islamic sect known as the Sufis. And what happened was there used to be like lots of trade between Morocco and Egypt, like food, spices, all these things, etc. And I think they brought books with them, and they also brought knowledge. Now, when they brought it, they didn't really bring it as witchcraft, rather than just a discipline that the pious people before us have known, because to them it had so much magical or powers that are unknown to us. It is believed that God has bestowed it upon the chosen ones who he felt close to. But that was wrong, and that was only a way to like dilute the population to what it really was. So people started practicing it as a way of worship, but it's really the opposite. And they also used to think that the demons they were talking to and that they were in contact with and that they were getting all this knowledge from were angels, which is not. It's not the case. They were getting their knowledge from otherworldly evil beings. As for the Jewish magic, it became really widespread in here when the Jews got expelled from Europe and Morocco and Turkey, and a lot of other North African countries took them in, and so it became a part of our culture as well. And the practices slipped through the cracks into our culture, and people, well, they knew that was witchcraft by that point. I think everyone knew at some point, but people might have found use for it. And so yeah. As for voodoo, well, it is Africa after all, so I'm guessing the same way through which it came from Egypt, trade and all. However, that one is way more bloodier and just blatantly known to be evil. So I think people that started practicing it, they knew what they were doing. So why is Morocco a mecca for witchcraft? This story goes a long way back. So what happened was, it is with the king Solomon actually. He asked God for a rule like none other, like no one shall have or have had. And so God gave him control over a lot of things, including these demons. All of them, all types, races, sizes. He had the ability to control them, and it was said that he was a very stern king. Like, he was not playing jokes with them, and he used them for a lot of things. However, when one of them made a mistake, he would kick them out and like banish them from Jerusalem at the time. And so the place that they were banished to was North Africa, basically. And yes, so that's hence why the court of jinns is in here, especially in Tangiers. That's where it's located, literally. And since they have their own society, rules, laws, they go there to be judged, punished, and executed, and so forth and so on. However, one of the things that learning about witchcraft and magic teaches you is how to connect with them, and how, I'm not gonna say travel to their world, however, open a gate on how, and like let them pass through, so they could come into our world but we can't go to theirs. My working theory is that they are from the fourth dimension, and that's why we can't really go to them, otherwise we're gonna die in there. However, for them, they can come here with no issue. But however, we can't see them, but we can see their shadow because it's going to be in 3D, because they are a 4D being. Yes, do whatever you will with that. And so the Jews living in Morocco, after, they got expelled from Europe, made things a lot worse. Why and how so? When the Jews came here, well, they're really known for hoarding gold and things like that. So they brought a lot of gold, and whenever they died, they would bury the gold I think with them or in their graveyards, and it was a way of safety. It was their bank, so they would hide it underground. Now, they used jinns for safety and to, security, to keep the gold safe in the graveyards, especially the Jewish graveyards. We can't bury them with us. They're Jews. And they would use jinns who lived for thousands of years to keep the gold safe. The reason why they use it is so that there is like no chance of you accidentally stumbling on it or just digging a hole and find it. There's no way you're going to find it unless you really know your stuff. And there's like a few select people that can actually stumble on it, but I don't think they can dig it out. They can locate it but not dig it out. And I'm going to link the video somewhere around here about the people who have ESP. I talked about this a long time ago, and I think it's going to be very useful. And so those people can be like in a very different place, but still after some, rituals can use their powers to find the treasure wherever it's hidden. So you don't have to be in the exact city, but you can like give indications to where it could be. And most of the time those people are in a trance, so it's not really them talking, it's their abilities talking in a sense. And so because the Jews thrived here for a long time and their belongings, gold, diamonds, this, that, they were hiding that in like pots in jars that they would hide underground. And because people got greedy with time, they started learning how to master the art of digging up those graveyards and finding the treasure hidden inside them. So that's one of the ways and one of the reasons people have developed their witchcraft skills to, I'm not gonna say perfection because it's like a discipline you always have to keep learning, and there's so many disciplines within that. However, but people here are really good at it because of that. And so I would say that anywhere else that did have this phenomenon of witchcraft and Jews in the same place, you're definitely gonna have people that are looking in graveyards using special powers to find the treasure. So how do you convince the devils and the demons to work with you? So when you practice black magic, people are not just gonna fall for you and whatever you're saying. There needs to be a hint of truth in whatever you tell them. A convincing evidence would normally be something like telling them a secret only they know, or telling them where they put something that only they know about, or something that's really recent, for example the color of their bathroom or something like that, something that only they would know. But how do they know these things? Well, there's this concept of qarin basically, and it is a demon you are born with and you die with. Basically he is, you can just call him your shadow if you want, but it's not really your shadow because he can go places and come back. Your shadow doesn't go anywhere. And so he is with you all the time. You can't see him, but he's there. And his main purpose of being there is taking you to hell. It's like those demons you see in cartoons. And so the way of making him spill the beans and tell the wizard everything he knows about you is by using your own demon to get him to talk. However, there needs to be a pact between you and the demon so you can start using the demons. Like, I don't know if it's all of them or just one king and his servants and things like that. However, you have the ability to get them to do what you want. But is that really what it is? But how do you exactly get him to do that? It's through a sacrifice of some sort. According to what I know, you have to do something like write the Quran using menstrual blood, or just blood or sperm in general, feces you have to poop on, whatever holy book your place lives in, which means you have to disobey God and to embrace the worship of Satan, and to be public about it, and everyone would know that, obviously, since you are using his servants and he's allowing you to use them and they are doing whatever you want. Also, you have to sleep in a bathroom for the first night and be isolated for about 40 days. Go to somewhere where there's no one. Don't eat salt, don't shower. There's a lot of things that go into that, and it really depends on the discipline as well. And most of the time it is the demons that tell you what to do when you sleep in the bathroom for the first time. Now, don't go doing this. I really am not an expert. I just did a lot of research, but that does not mean you can do this and get out of it sane, because if you fail the 40-day test, well, you will go insane, literally, and there's no saving you, because medicine, well, it's not that developed yet. So yes, in the first night you are given instructions on what to do and how to do them, and and all you have to do from there on is to accept, or I don't know if you have the option to leave at that point, but you have to do as you're. But it is really important to know that it is not an equal trade, not whatsoever. It is reciprocal, but it's not equal, which means you worship the devils so that they would do little tiny tricks for you, things for them like separating couples, or things that are unimaginable to us, are really easy, simple, trinket things that they can do. And you are doing so much. You're humiliating yourself. You are eating poop and going to graveyards at night and digging in the trash for stuff, and they just want to see you humiliated, so they are pleased with you, so they would do the little things that you want, which is stupid. Don't do it. Now, one of the main portals to opening the world of jinns is a Ouija board. We said the bathroom and now the Ouija board. That thing is not something you mess with. Spirits that talk to you, they're not humans. You will never be able to speak to a human spirit because that has passed the afterlife. They can come visit us, but it's really mostly in our dreams, and it's rare. You just have to go to the person if you want to talk to them, but you have to die as well. And so, yeah, sorry. It's really the deep evil devils that are talking to you, so don't talk to them. Then don't play the Ouija board, and be really careful with that. So who uses witchcraft? Our most important question. First, single women. You can use witchcraft to be lovable, to look prettier, to look charming, so people would love you and be fond of you very easy, and to attract a mate, to find work, and whenever you are lovable and acceptable, people like, let's say, HR, someone who's recruiting, or someone who would come propose to you, and all these things would be so much easier for you. Number 2 is married women, so they would keep their men in check, and they would go to like an oracle to see whether the man is cheating or no. Like, the way to find this is by talking to his demon again, and since the witch has already made the pact with the devils, it's way easier for her to know where he goes, what he does, this and that. But keep in mind, the devils lie, so it's not always real. Some women have absolutely no reason to why they can't have kids. They just can't seem to have kids. They are healthy, their eggs are fine, sperm is fine, but there's no kids. So some of these women, they tend to go to an oracle. And also to keep the husband obedient, because some men would abuse and do all these bad things to women, and so the women would make little spells for them to be obedient and nicer and to spend more. Men also use it. Men. By boys I mean like young adults that are not married. And they use it to also find work, to be acceptable, lovable, so that if they go to propose to someone, their proposal would not be rejected, their job offer would not be rejected as well. Also to keep the wife obedient as well. So it really goes both ways. It's like a Harry Potter match inside a house. Students. I remember a long time ago, this crazy woman came into our house, and she had all this junk in her bag, and she's like, if you use this head of a bird to keep in your backpack as a student, you will really do good in school. And I did for like a whole year, and guess what? I did really good. If it was like a pseudo thing to me, like a placebo effect, that's why I did well. I don't know, maybe that was it. I'll tell you the name of the bird in case you're struggling as well. I just don't know that at the moment, but I'll show it here. Salary people, whether be it men or women. With salary people, they would use witchcraft for things like being loved by everyone around them, and so that the boss would be nicer to you, so you can get a promotion, so you can get a raise, and this type of thing, just making life easier. Politicians, especially during election time, they use a lot of witchcraft, so so that they are lovable, and they also go to a lot of oracles. But the thing is, they can afford to invite oracles to their houses instead of them going there, because it's really not a good look. So in the dimness of the night, they would invite the oracles to perform rituals, sacrifices, all these type of things, so that they would appeal to the demons and so that they can win the elections. And yes, I don't know if this is a worldwide practice, but it is here. And there's been a lot of confessions of oracles in the past, but they never really specify the politicians. But you can just say it's all of them, because how else do they win? No one likes them. Many rich people use witchcraft, and the thing is, when you're rich, you can actually afford like ingredients for recipes and spells that are not within your country. For example, a coyote. Oh my god, coyote is like one of the most dangerous things ever to use on someone. You did not hear that from me. But yes, wild animals, wild birds, lions, that type of thing that you just can't seem to find in one place, well, those people can afford to buy it and outsource it. And I had someone in my family who does this type of things, and like people that saw her or saw her clients, they would say that they usually come as a family to do that type of thing. I don't know if that's like a worship to them or whatever, but yes. And yes, there's also been a lot of people saying, just around the internet in general, how nice the cards that arrive to the oracle's houses. So why would the Moroccan girl use witchcraft on you? So the reason she would want to be with you is either so you can marry her or so you can be her puppet. By that I mean a financial puppet, so you can spend as much money on her as she pleases without you having much of a resistance type of thing. As a foreign man, you are the least suspicious person of that, especially if you're atheist. It's like with these people, oh no, that's something of the past when we have burned all our witches. Well, you didn't burn our witches, and they had all this time to work on their skills. So let me be your advisor. Careful who you share your parents' name with, especially your mother. Do not share this information. Pictures, careful who you give your pictures to, just your DNA in general, which means sperm, sweat, nails, hair, tears, saliva, all these things. Try to make sure that it's not transferable. So things like a comb, a t-shirt, underwear, a face mask, all these things have your DNA, and if a person has your DNA, they don't need the name of your mother. If they have your picture, I think as well, they don't need the name, but I'm not really sure. It really depends on the wizard. Careful when she invites you to her house, and when you invite her to your house, careful that she doesn't cook for you. And yeah, especially things like a tagine or something like that, it's really easy to like dip something in there and to just mix it until it's not noticeable, even if it's like a paper talisman. I don't think you can ever tell. And of course, if you're not suspicious, then even better. Also, some men have this fantasy of ejaculating on women's hijabs. Yeah, don't do that. You can take that home with her, and salon, my friend. So things not to do together: sleeping together, shower, eating together, and a place where food is cooked by her. So how do I know she will be with me? Well, how do you know a girl will be with you? The thing is, you can't. I don't care if she has a PhD or she hasn't been to school at all. This thing is common practice. And the thing is with girls with PhDs and just bachelors, someone who's has a good education, is that we have the capacity to give you a very PC answer, very politically correct, saying things such as, no, this is such an old thing, who believes in that anymore, times have changed, this and that. But no, people say a more educated person can give you a more educated answer, but it doesn't really show their true intentions. And like my mom always said, marriage is really just a gamble. So you really never know whose hands are you going to fall into. Now, witchcraft is something that's happening now all over the world. It's all over TikTok as well. People are calling themselves white witches and things like that, but it's all black, dark things. There's no distinctions between the two. Magic itself, it's all dark. So to like divide it It's black and white. It's just basically divided like based on the ingredients. It's not really devised based on the intentions, which is to manipulate people, control people, delude people, seduce people, make them sick, a lot of things that are mostly bad and never good. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, if there's something you didn't understand, make sure you ask. If you have anything to add, make sure you ask. Make sure you follow me, subscribe as well. And also, if you're interested in finding a Moroccan wife, make sure you let me know.